Cheers to you guys. I was doing that for ages to say cheers, cheers. We're back and we're back together.
We are back together. Aoife last week was worried. She's like, "Where's Mark?
No.
Is there something wrong?" Da, 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 da. And I was like, "No, I'm just at my mum, helping her with a couple of things," and that's all it was. So, and we weren't going to do a live, but I thought, you know what, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. And I had the laptop, but I didn't have the camera and the.
Oh, so you had to do it.
So I did it by my phone.
Well, as you can see, I'm starting up mine already because I fancy a biscuit. So these are the Starbucks straws.
The cookie straws.
The cookie straws. You can see there as well, cookie straws. As you can see it right there. Very nice too. I think they've got. Let me just show you while I open this. But it tastes very much like a lady finger, as you would get in a trifle.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I don't.
I can't open it.
Customary caramel frappuccino. I've got semi-skimmed milk. No, to me, there's chocolate that runs through the middle of this.
That's what I was going to show.
Oh, sorry.
Dear me. Don't take Kelly for spoilers. Right, there we are. So there, you could. Well, actually, you can't really see it. But there is a chocolate that runs through the middle there on the biscuit as well. So for me, that's why it reminds me of it. But it's a good size. And if you're box clever, I say box clever. Now I'm going to give it a go. But I think I can just probably use it to dunk in my straw.
Which is, because they're cookie straws. But there's no chocolate in ladyfingers.
Like ladyfingers, but with chocolate in.
Oh.
Actually, that's really good.
Yeah, because you get the chocolate flavour through it. Yeah.
So that's my recommendation. Do a hot drink and then go it through the cookie straw. Such a brilliant idea and very, very simple. I definitely get chocolate.
I was thinking it doesn't taste like it, but of course you got oat milk because normally I don't get oat milk with mine. I normally get soya.
This is really good. So tell everybody what you've been up to.
I just been at my mum's, sort of doing a couple of things for her. She was away, and I was just sort of like doing things in the house for her, really. But that was it.
Away.
Yeah.
Well, I was here working away, like for some.
Well, I don't know because I was doing. You were working away. I mean, it wouldn't have been really any different if you'd come to mum's and.
True.
Yeah. She doesn't live too far.
What are we talking about?
I'm finding real difficulty. I don't normally, but
it is difficult to open. So there's me, nearly done with mine.
I know, but that's you all over, to be fair.
But anyway, that's our recommendation for the week this week. If you didn't do one on Tuesday,
I don't think I did.
No. So the cookie straws from Starbucks, really, really good.
Yeah, I really enjoy them. Do you know what I found? So basically, last week I was trying to log on via my phone because I couldn't get on via the laptop. So I got my phone and I had it on a gimbal and all of that. Luckily I brought the gimbal with me so then I could stand it on the table. I did it outside in the garden, but obviously the pretty lights didn't come on.
Oh. So Kelly's mum has put all these lights in the back garden and it does look really, really nice.
It looks almost really
like
nice.
Christmas in the summer.
Yeah. The gardener. Don't break it. I'm trying to do it so I don't break it. So my mum's got a gardener and he so on his website he explains that he got ill and then when he recovered sort of like 2020 happened and all of that. So obviously during 2020 we were all in lockdown and stuff. And so he decided to become a gardener. And he took all the relevant courses and everything else and learned everything that he could about plants and flowers and all of this type of stuff. And it's a really nice story. And so anyway, my mum had found this. I don't know. I think she got recommended the gardener or she found the gardener. I'm not sure. Like with people starting out a new business, because it's not established yet, sometimes you can be a bit iffy. My one's hard, right?
Do you know what?
It's more difficult than your one.
This one is being super glued together.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've got it.
Oh, he's got it.
There you go.
Thank you. So yeah, and when I was reading the story, it was quite show everybody the crisps. So this is another Eat Real pack of crisps. So what are they?
So we've got kale, tomato, and spinach.
What ones have you got? Have you got all three?
No, I think I've just got tomato.
Well, mind you, the light one and the red one and the green, the green one and the light one look very similar.
They don't taste any different.
I think that is a light one.
Like
Yeah.
I said, they all taste the same, so you don't even need to.
So basically, those are the three. They used to be longer, right? Or am I imagining
No.
things? They've always been. So these are the three. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but those are the three. And there you go.
So anyway, you're telling me about your mum's gardener.
Yeah. So I was a bit skeptical because it's a new profession.
Yeah.
Right. It's a brand new profession that he studied and everything else. And but when I saw her garden, because I think he's been doing it for maybe a year or two now. This might be the second year that he's doing her garden. And it's really nice what he's done to the garden.
He has. I have seen it. He has done a really, really good job.
It's 2 people now.
Oh, okay.
I took you guys around the garden last week, but going back to me doing the video from my phone, at the end of it didn't save the video.
Oh.
It didn't save the live.
So it hasn't uploaded.
Yeah, so it didn't upload. So I'm sorry for anybody who thinks that we didn't do a live last week. I did do a live last week. I did it very late. I did it around 7 o'clock because I couldn't find how you do it from your mobile. So it took me a little while to find out how you do it from. I was busy anyway at 6, and I wasn't even going to do a live anyway. But I thought, you know what? Let me do a really quick one. And of course, Professional Bake Off is back on a Tuesday. So I wanted to watch Bake Off. So I think I might have started about 7 or maybe 10 past 7. And then I showed you around my mum's garden, and he's done a really, really good job. Of course, my mum killed all the flowers. And so those flowers that you saw, like the baskets and stuff like that, I got to my mum's, and on the same day he was there. Oh, no, I went to my mum's the week before. And
how did your mum kill flowers? Did she water them with weed killer?
I don't know. They just died. She waters them, but I don't think she waters them as she should. And he said, obviously, you do it when the sun's gone.
Yeah.
So
you should never water them, or you shouldn't really water them.
So like 5, 6 o'clock time or after that.
Mind you, that being said, why doesn't it kill the flowers then if it rains during the day?
I don't know, but I think that in order for I don't know if the sun maybe does something to evaporates the water when it comes back out.
Yeah, I'd best stop eating this.
Yeah, because I can see
there'll
be none left for me.
I will eat the lot. They're very good though.
They're very nice. But that's the Eat Real have done quite a few nice. You liked the tomato one that I got. Yeah. I was a bit iffy on the tomato ones.
These are okay, but they all taste the same.
I prefer these ones to the tomato ones.
No, but tomato.
And then there's the lentil ones, the sour cream ones. I really like those ones as well. But I don't know what the difference is, to be quite honest. I'm not really a gardener, but I'm assuming that the sun evaporates the water if you do it during the day.
Guys, if you know why you're not supposed to water a garden during the day, please drop it in the comments. Let us know. It'd be good to know. But I've always thought that as well. Well, hang on a second. If it rains during the day, that doesn't kill plants. But how come you watering it during the day does?
Well, over watering them will kill them as well. So over water plants, that kills them. But I think that's more house plants probably rather than outdoor plants.
Maybe. Anyway, that aside. So yeah, your mum's garden looked very, very nice.
And what he's done, which I showed you guys on Tuesday, he's put oh, I didn't even show you that because it wasn't dark. But once it got to dark, and I was going to edit and add, I did some filming of the garden at night, and I was going to add it on to the live later on in edit.
Okay.
But of course, because the live never recorded.
There you are. So we didn't get. So we. Well, I say we. Kelly did go live on Tuesday.
But yeah, I think I need to, if I can. So we're talking about the garden now and all of that. So maybe at the end of this live, maybe I'll put the video of the garden.
Yeah, there we go.
So maybe I'll do that at the end of this one. It won't coincide, unfortunately, with what you see in the day. You'll only see how the flowers are at night, the lights are at night. But you know that it is what it is, I suppose. So what were you doing the week that I was away? Other than working?
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to bore anybody, but it was a very boring week. So I've been very, very busy. So for anybody that may know, I'm actually studying as well. And then part of this study is you are supposed to study during your work time as well. So I do get allowances to do that. But your study ends up being so much that you end up doing it in the evening. So this week is the first week that I've actually been able to take a break. So let everybody know I have passed on my exams. I'm glad to be able to tell you.
Congratulations.
So thank you. So those are all done. I've passed them all. I've handed in my projects. I had to do an 18,000 word. Well, that's what I did in the end, 18,000 word thesis. So I've handed that in. So I'm glad about that. And then I'm just waiting for the results. But I do have to do one more project apparently. And then I'm done, and I get interviewed apparently, and then I'm done. So thank God. I started this March 2021, so it's been a long slog. This course, but yeah. So to be honest with you, I've done absolutely nothing the week you're away. I was just sitting there working, which is a nothing itself.
Yeah, it is a nothing itself.
To be fair, and then chilling out in the evening. But I've done nothing. So I thought I could do this, I could do that, I can do this. Zonked on the sofa. But I know what you do want to talk about. Your island of love. So
Love Island. Love Island.
I shall let Kelly take over this section. Because I was conscious actually for this live. I thought I've got nothing interesting to say. I've not been anywhere. I've not done anything exciting. I've just been working and studying. So I've got nothing, but that is my good news for anybody listening. I have finished I passed all my exams.
Yeah, that is good news. So Love Island, what am I thinking about it? I think it hasn't been as good as other seasons. Yeah. And I feel like I feel like it just centers around Michael Owen's daughter, really.
I've been trying to watch it to do comment for it on the live, but I've got to say I haven't really watched it last few days. I've just intermittently done it, but by watching YouTube and other bits as well. Well, I do agree with you. I have lost interest in it.
I feel like that. So Michael Owen's daughter is in it, and I feel like a lot of it, and what they did, they brought in an ex-boyfriend of hers. So for any of you that doesn't know Love Island, it's about female and male contestants coming into one house, into a villa, in the sunshine, dressed in bikinis all day, having fit bodies and blah blah blah, trying to find love. But you have to discern whether they are game players or whether they actually do want to find love. Now, I think when you go into this, I don't think anyone really is looking for love. I think they're single and they're going in to have a good summer. That summer of a lifetime. And it is a summer of a lifetime. You will never get to do something like that again.
To be honest with you, I think maybe in the first few seasons, that was the intention of the people. I think now, no, it's got to a stage where I actually think they should consider getting rid of it. I'll tell you why. I think now the intention is that no one's looking for love. I think they're looking it to boost their careers. So to take off a social media campaign, so many previous Love Island contestants have gone on to do successful media careers.
Yeah.
And it's pocketed them lots and lots of money. And the fact is, the proof in the pudding is that very, 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 very few of the couples survive beyond, not just survive in general, but beyond a month after they leave the island. So for me, it proves the point that it's not for that anymore. I think they need to now reinvent it and have something else.
But I think that is the fact for any reality TV show. Any reality TV show is to do with you want to be famous overnight, pretty much.
No, I disagree. So if you look at something like Come Dine With Me, which is reality TV, people aren't going on that to be famous. They are going on that genuinely because nobody.
But nobody really watches Come Dine With Me. No, that's in the day.
But it doesn't matter. The point I'm proving is nobody goes on that to be famous.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is something along the lines of the Big Brother, Wags, Towie, all of those reality shows,
God, I hate all those.
which is fine. But what I'm saying, all of those reality shows are there for overnight success. They're not there because, you know, I mean, a couple of the people from Towie, they've done quite well. One of them's a singer. I think she might have even been on Glastonbury and things like that. So I think there are a few of the people that go on beyond and then leave the, you know, because what's his name? That Wright boy, is it Mark Wright?
Yeah, he tried to be a professional footballer.
That's right. But then he went on to reality, Only Way is Essex.
Yeah.
Now he's married to the girl from Corrie, who played in Corrie. She's left Corrie now, and she's Michelle Keegan. That's her name. And all of this. So that's what I'm saying. They do this to boost their career.
So, guys, do any of you lot watch reality TV show? If you do, that you're prepared to admit that if you do, which ones do you watch, and what is your take on them? So I've got to say, my general consensus is I hate them. There's something about Love Island, I don't know what it is, but it just intrigues me that I want to watch it. I don't know why, but most of them I hate. I mean, like singing competitions. Pav, hello.
Hey,
Says, we're stuck there. It says, hi, beautiful angels. I hope you're well on this blissful evening. What have you guys been up to?
Do you know what? I've been at my mum's for this week. Well, today was the first day that I came back. And so I was there from last week, Wednesday. So we didn't do a live on Friday. And then I forgot that I'd be at my mum's house. And I thought, we were discussing whether we were going to do a live. And then I thought, you know what? I will do a live, but I did a late live. So I did it roughly around 7 o'clock.
Oh, did you? You did it a lot late?
Yeah, I did it that late. Well, because I knew I was going to do it late anyway. Because I was sorting things out in the house. I had certain timings that I had to do things in the house. And so I knew I was going to be late. And while I knew I was going to be late, I was umming and ahhing whether I was going to do one or not.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what? Let me do one, but I'll do it from my phone. Because although I had the laptop with me, I didn't have the microphone or the camera. And I know that from the laptop, it's not that good. But also my mum's internet.
Oh, so your mum's internet is terrible. Oh, it's terrible.
The afternoon tea, it took me 2 days. I started uploading from 4:30 the day before, and it didn't upload till the next day.
Yeah, so if any of you watched, we did do an afternoon tea video, which we uploaded. But as Kelly said, it took her nearly 2 days to upload that on her mum's. I think it was very, very slow.
It was so
Ray,
slow.
Hello. How are you
Ray.
both? Lovely as Kelly. Congratulations on
Thank
passing
you.
down. Thank you, Ray. Thank you so much. But yeah, how are you both? How are you both? Well, Pav, I hope you're well. Ray, I hope you are well. As Kelly was saying, Kelly spent the week with her mum's, house sitting pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's why she did the live on Tuesday a little bit later on. But we are back together doing the live today, as you've now moved back in. So
I had my suitcase and everything. I had to go.
I know.
The thing is, at my mum's as well, and I suppose this is if you go to anyone's house. And I knew I wanted to do some cooking and things like that, but she doesn't have the utensils that I would use, so like the kitchen utensils and stuff like that. So I had about 3 or 4 bags to do different things. And my aunt popped in to check in on me, see if everything was all right and everything else.
Did she?
Yeah. That's my mum's sister. My mum's got 2 sisters.
Oh, that's so funny.
This was the middle sister and her husband, my uncle. So they came round to check in on things, see if everything was all right and all of that, which it was obviously. And because they live, so we all sort of live relatively close, but my aunt lives closer to my mum. And so they popped in, they had a cup of tea and all of that. And I did some baking. So I baked 2 cakes. I baked a cherry almond one and I baked a pineapple upside down cake. But my mum's kitchen is a lot bigger than our kitchen. Like our kitchen is a galley kitchen. And I do a lot of cooking and a lot of baking. And our kitchen is so packed, there's hardly any workspace. Because we've got kettle, and then we've got a toaster, and then we've got a fryer, and then we've got 2 coffee machines, and we've got a mixer and all that. So all the workspace is taken with sort of gadgets that we use in that. And I get to my mum's, her toaster doesn't even work properly. It's burning one side of the toast.
Oh God, your mum.
So I was just like, oh right, okay. And do you know what happened when I was there? Oh my God. So my mum's cooker's like quite old. It's probably about, I don't know, 20 years old or something like that. And I said to Mum's, oh, your toaster doesn't work. She goes, yeah, I don't use the toaster. I normally use the grill. So if any of you young enough out there, back in the day before you had a toaster, you used to grill to make toast, right? Because I've seen young'uns, and when something breaks down, like the microwave, all of a sudden they don't know how to heat up food. Or I was chatting to someone at where I used to work at one time, and I think it was something like the toaster broke down, and that all of a sudden they didn't know how to make toast, and all of this, and you. This is the gadget convenience, isn't it? All of a sudden, then the youngsters don't know.
I know. You say youngsters. I mean, who doesn't have a toaster? Your mum needs to get a new toaster.
Yeah, she does need to get a new toaster, but I think that obviously she's used to doing what she's doing, which is fair enough. She's in her 60s or whatever, so I'm not gonna, say if that's how she wants to do toast, that's how she wants to do toast.
Ray said, my daughter takes a little case when she goes to her boyfriend's for the weekend. It says carrying, just pull it along. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I do. That is a really good idea, because if you are staying at somebody's place for a little bit, you do need some convenience and your stuff around you, but you don't want to take too big a case.
Well, I didn't know I might need to bring a toaster, but anyway, don't think the grill broke down. So basically, I can't remember what I was making, and I needed to use the grill. Oh, I was making a ham and cheese croissant. So, I sort of cut my croissant in half. I put my butter on it, put my ham on it, turned on the grill. Oh, the grill didn't work. I was like, oh my God. And then I'm gonna have to say to my mum, oh, the grill died. What happened? I've been using, and she's very much like my granddad, right? They can use an appliance for however many years, it can be however old it is. All of a sudden, if it breaks down on your watch, you're the one to blame.
It's your fault.
It's my fault.
To be honest with you, I'll have a look at that, because it might actually
be the heating element.
Yeah, the element.
But I had to look, and there was no heating element in the grill.
Well, if it's an old oven.
Yeah, it's about at least 30 years old. I'm sure it is about 30 years old, roughly. And so, so I had to ring her and say, "Oh, Mum's the grill." Oh, what do you mean it's not working? And I said, well, it was working before, but it's not working. Oh, so it was working before. Now it's not working. And I just thought, oh no. And I know she uses the grill quite regularly, because she uses it to grill to make toast. So anyway,
just buy her a toaster.
Yeah. But the thing was, I was thinking we wanted to buy a new toaster anyway, so we could give her our old one. However, she needs a flat one, because that's what she puts so my mum has got she's got loads of space in her kitchen, by the way. So she's got loads of drawers, and she doesn't have we've got a double fridge freezer. She's got single, so she's got a fridge at the top and a freezer at the bottom. And but she's filled a couple of her drawers with Tupperware. So like the drawer, so I don't know if this is common in all kitchens, but in our kitchen we have a top drawer, a middle drawer, and a large drawer at the bottom. And my mum has something very similar. And for some reason, in the middle drawer, she's filled it full with Tupperware, takeaway ones, normal Tupperware.
To be fair, my parents have a dishwasher which broke down about a year or so ago, and they just use it for storage.
I think it broke down longer than that.
Yeah, I opened it up, and there's loads of pans in there. I go, oh, are these clean? They go, oh, no, it broke down. This is just storage. I'm like, oh, okay.
But it's funny how some people work.
Yeah. It's just all storage. It's only used for storage. And sorry, Mum, revealed your secret.
She's got a cupboard. So anyway, and my mum's got a lot of space, so it was nice to sort of work in her kitchen, because I knew I could put a pan down. So in our kitchen, I've got a tiny workspace and the hob, because we've got so much stuff, because I do a lot of cooking, I do a lot of baking, I've got spice racks and all of this, so they're all sort of out. And but in my mum's kitchen, because it's a square kitchen as well, and she's got sort of like a breakfast bar as well, so there's a lot of space to work, which is quite nice. But she's also got a washing machine, right? So she's got the washing machine, and then she's got a cupboard next to the washing machine, and the cupboard opens out. But of course, I went to open the cupboard, and the washing machine door, because it juts out a little bit, you can't. It knocks against, so you can't open that cupboard at all. She's got. I don't know how she's getting things in and out of that cupboard, but you can't open it. And I was thinking, oh, she will have to. It's one of those cupboards where you have to put the hinge on the other way around so that you can open it that way. But even then, it may interrupt with the door of the washing machine. It's very, yeah.
So I was going to say, so putting it out to you guys, do you have a drawer that you just fill with clutter? I'm not saying it's all clutter, but it's clutter. Do you have a drawer that you just fill with junk that you never ever use? We have two drawers like that.
Yeah.
We do have two drawers. So my friends, family, and stuff like that will send various bits and bobs, and I put it in this drawer sometimes if I don't use it, and it stays there forever. I've got a few drawers, said Ray. This is true. Do you know what it is? And it's
so easy to have them.
The other thing we're guilty of is that we collect gadgets. So,
oh yeah.
I at one stage I had three coffee machines. I had the Nespresso, two Nespresso machines, and the Tassimo.
You had four.
No,
because
three.
Yeah, but one wasn't working, and you got a replacement, and they didn't pick up the old one.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. They did pick up. They were supposed to pick up the old one, but they said no. It's your responsibility to dispose of it. So anyway, by three, I mean three working.
Yeah, three working ones.
So I mean that one was for them needed to get rid of, but I gave it away.
Yeah.
On the premise that it doesn't. Well, it works, but it
leaks. Yeah.
So you've got to put it in like a little bucket to make it work. But anyway, so of course we had those three there. I gave away one, but we got so many gadgets. So I bought a waffle maker. You bought me a panini maker. There's a crock pot in the spare room that hasn't been used for about 2 years.
It's a cook for me, a tea-power cook for me.
Yeah, which has never been used. Oh, God, and Ray has a spare room full of stuff, and so have we. Oh my life! Then we were due to do Christmas one year, so Kelly bought a hob, a portable hob, so one you could just plug in, but it's just a flat hob. You got two of those, and they've never been used. They've been sat in the spare room for 3 years. We've had, what else have we bought? So much junk that we've just never. I bought a tava, which is a huge sort of flat pan. The idea is you can make things like chapatis and stuff on that flatbread.
Yeah,
I think I
used a tower.
That's it. I used it once, never used it again. I think I fried eggs on it rather than use it for anything else. But yeah, we've got so many gadgets. And we always buy them with a good intention. Yeah, if I buy a waffle maker, I can make waffles. But
you do make waffles. You don't make them often.
I do make them. Now, the only time I've used it to make them, and I'll be honest, is if you go through our videos, you'll see I've made 2 waffle recipes. One which is easy waffles, which is actually very nice. I use those.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I did use that several times.
I was going to say you have used it a few times.
And there's something called Metatron's waffles, which is I used that, which is a very nice recipe, by the way, if anybody is interested. Although it is a bit of a faff. And that is basically what you do is you get your waffle batter, but you separate the eggs and the egg whites. You mix them together and you fold it in so they're very fluffy. But you add chopped up strawberries in there. And then you cook that. So it is very nice, but it is a hassle. So that's the only time really I've used it. And then it gets shoved in the corner.
Yeah, because it's not out and we can't use it. We have to put it away.
Do you know what I love about Ray? Is the fact that whenever I feel guilty and we do these confessions, Ray goes one up.
Yeah.
So you make us feel a lot better.
It makes me feel better.
I've got so many appliances too. About 4 coffee machines. All you got 4 coffee machines.
All used. You must have them in. Do you have like one in the bedroom then? Because
I'm buying another one. Ray's got 4. I've only got 2. So, and actually, one of them is yours, the Tassimo. So I'm going to get a second one. Thank you, Ray. Is what I say to them. Do you know what? I always wanted one in the bedroom, so I can just fill it with water, and like late at night I can just have one without go back. I know it's sheer indulgence and laziness, but I always wanted to have one with the mini pods that I gave away. I now regret that because I did want one up here, but it was a bit big.
That one was a bit big. And you know what makes me laugh? It makes me think of the 80s when people had the alarm clocks that would make the coffee in the morning. People would have them in their rooms. And then as soon as the alarm would go off, the thing would make the coffee. Do you remember those? Yeah. And that's when you say that, that's what I think of. I mean, oh.
So for anybody doing confessions, confess away. Have you ever bought a gadget or been given a gadget? You don't have to reveal who gave it to you, and I hardly ever used it or used it once and then put it away for years, but don't want to throw it out because you just think I may use that again.
It's not even that. I think if we had the appliances out, we would use them. I would definitely use the panini maker.
Well, no, you say that though. You never use your Tassimo anymore.
No, the Tassimo I don't use because we've got the velvetizer.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other one we've got. So we've got a velvet. Oh my god, we've got a velvetizer and not with an Nespresso. So another gadget we bought. Kelly bought a £60, yes, 60 quid milk frother from Nespresso. Now you never use it. I do use it.
Yeah, he does use it. Yeah.
But that it is very, very good. But like I say, and it is dishwasher safe, which the velvetizer is not. So one thing we always say that is bear in mind if you do use a velvetizer, and I do think they should have made that dishwasher safe because Nespresso's one is, and it's a very similar tool.
Yeah, you have to separate the inside then if you were going to make it.
So Ray said, all on the kitchen worktops, you got the 4 machines. Ray, just out of interest, your 4 machines, are they all the same company or are they different? So is one a Nespresso, one a Tassimo, one a whatever and whatever and whatever. Oh, Ray said, I bought a vacuum for the car, £150 I've never used.
Do you know what? I was looking at that the other day, Ray. I was looking at a vacuum for the car. Oh my God. And a small one as well.
I've never taken the garage up the road and they charge £15 a time. Oh no, she said they're all different. Well, do you know what? You're very brave to confess it. I'm going to level with you. I'm 47 years old and I still don't know what all the
gadgets on the Hoover for.
Oh, gadgets on the Hoover are for.
Yeah.
I still don't know what they are like.
I know what most of them are for, but I don't know what all of them are for. But I know what most of them are for.
I don't know what they do. There's one that's like a little thin thing, and then
yeah, they are. The one with the brush is to sort of do the up, so it brushes like the cobwebs or walls, anything like that. And then the one with the point is normally to do the skirting boards normally and things like that.
I've no idea what the gadgets were for. I thought you did this tiny thing and this thing with a brush and this little thing.
What are they for?
Yeah, I just stick the big thing on and just do for around.
So Mum came back and I'm not a tidy person, right? Mark's more tidy. I find that men are quite well. Actually, no, that's not true. You and my brother are quite tidy. Steph's quite tidy. So is my cousins are quite tidy. Actually, you and my cousins are quite tidy. And my uncle is tidy. My dad's tidy, but not all men are tidy.
No,
not all men are tidy. I find that I've got one messy nephew, the nephew that is very much like me, and then I have another nephew who's very tidy, and my brother's very tidy, but I'm like so messy. And so when I got to my mum's, I was just like, oh my God. And my mum is like super tidy. She's super tidy, like everything. And she's, you know, she does clever little things, has clever little storage places, and all this. But I find that her house has a lot of storage, whereas our house doesn't have. We've only got one storage cupboard, one under the stairs, and then one in the back bedroom.
Tell you something funny. Sorry, I did interrupt you this. When Kelly and I first got together, I went round Kelly's house and I thought, I'm going to help you tidy up because there was a little bit that was a bit of a mess. So I tidied that bit up. And as soon as your mum walked into the front door, she came in and she went, oh, well done, Mark. She knew full well it wasn't Kelly. She had no idea. It wasn't very messy. It was just a tiny little bit messy in the corner. So I thought, I'll tidy this up first because it needed tidying.
But yeah, I'm like not the most tidiest of people. But and I was just like, oh my God. So like tidying up around my mom's and all this, and then she's got a washer, and then she's got a dryer and all of this type of stuff. So, but the dryer takes all day. Is all day, and I'm just like, how does this thing work? And I said so when Mum rang, and I was just like, Mums, how does this dry? Does it like take that long to dry clothes? Oh yeah, it takes one turn and a half. And I was just like, 1 turn and a half.
Well, Ray just said, I'm the messy one. My sister's house is like a show house. You dare not even put a cut down without a coaster. Do you know what? There was a television program on people that are excessively clean. And I mean excessively clean, as in OCD. And there was 2 women that they focused on. And one woman, I kid you not, she bathed her children in Dettol. So she would they would have a normal bath. not obviously pure Dettol, but she would put cups of Dettol.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bleach, but
No, I know the Dettol you mean. Yeah, yeah.
And she would put several cups in the bath water because she wanted them ultra clean. So that's what I'm not even sure that's good for your eyes or your thing.
It's normally when you have cuts of things that you would fill a sink of Dettol and then maybe dip whatever it is or basin.
But she spent the entire. She didn't work. Her husband worked, but she spent the entire day cleaning. But she was so meticulous. She would get a toothbrush and clean grouting with it. So she meticulous, and it would be. But you looked at the house; it was spotless. It was absolutely spotless. She cleaned all the handles were clean. She'd do with taps like that to make sure there was no thumbprints or fingerprints.
Yeah,
it was. And another woman, she her living room was absolutely spotless. She hoovered it every day. She dusted it every day. And of course, her daughter walked into the living room and sat on a chair, just like a normal wooden chair. And of course, the camera crew said, "Well, why don't you sit on the sofa?" "Oh, no, we're not allowed to sit on the sofa." Mum says the sofa is for show.
Yeah.
And no one's allowed to sit on this sofa. It's all got all these cushions on it, all immaculately lined up. I think she even used a ruler to make sure that they were all symmetrical. But she said, no, no one's allowed to sit on the sofa. It's purely for show. What's the point? The whole point of the sofa is to sit on.
I do have to say, when I'm at my mum's, not if my mum is there or isn't there or whatever, but I do feel it's not homely in the sense that although I might sit and it might be messy over here, I feel like I can not relax, but I can just sit. Like it would be the opposite with my mum. If something was in a mess, she wouldn't be able to relax. But I feel the opposite. When it's too tidy, I feel like I'm a bit enclosed. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm like this.
I know some people do find it a bit
instead
clinical.
Of like relaxing kind of thing, but I feel like it's almost like it's constantly on your mind.
Well, Ray raises a good point. My mum used to say to us, "You look like no one owns you," but a bit of dirt is good for kids. It helps build up an immune system. That is very, very true. Now, I did read an article about one woman. She had her son. She was so worried about him getting sunburn or skin cancer that she put sunblock on him every single day. Even in the winter, she put sunblock on him. But then it caused
yes.
Well, it's a vitamin D deficiency. So he actually became really quite ill. And the doctor said he's incredibly pale. And she said, "No, I put sunblock on him every day." And she's no, you shouldn't do that at all.
And he said you can't breathe. The skin can't breathe.
That's it. That's what they said. They said he's had no exposure to the sun at all. You think you're doing a good thing, but he needs at least 10 minutes of it. He said, "You're absolutely right. In summer, you shouldn't be in full glare of the sun." But she said, "Why are you putting sunblock on in the winter?"
But also all the toxins that are, if you don't pick the right sunblock is full of
chemicals.
And so you have to be mindful which ones that you choose.
Well, it's designed to be worn just like for a holiday for 2-3 years max at a time, not for 365 days of the year.
In sort of like a lot of Mauritian people, I was about to say in our culture, but I think it's in a lot of cultures probably. You would have a living room where you receive guests, and then you have another living room that a family room that the family just veg out in. So when guests come, you take them to that living room. That's the living room where the sofa will be covered in plastic and all this. You just take it off when guests are coming, and then you put it all back. But nobody's allowed in that living room. Nobody.
Oh my God, Ray's mum had 2 rooms for guests, just for guests. Wow, that is impressive.
Like you're living in Downton Abbey, some high. I will receive you in the parlour. And I remember, so in the old days, my grandparents used to live in one part of Vauxhall, which were these flats. They've knocked those flats down now. But they had a toilet, and I never remember them having a bathroom. And my mum said, I was very little at the time, she said no, because the sink was the bath in the kitchen. So you had and then you take this thing off, and then you could have a bath in the kitchen, and then you put the thing back on, and that was it. So they only had a toilet and this sink thing. But they had a living room and they had a bedroom, my grandparents' bedroom, and then they had a second bedroom, I think. Or was it just one bedroom? Might have just been one bedroom. And that was it. So they had the bed in the room, and they had a sofa, and then they had another little room where they would receive guests. But nobody ever went in that room. Nobody ever went in that living room. And then also with my aunt, her husband, when we went to his mum's place, everybody sat in the kitchen, and and nobody ever went in the living room. When I went to my cousin's place, she had two living rooms. So she had the living room. As soon as you walk in, there's a living room, and then the stairs to go upstairs, and then through the living room you could get to the kitchen. But there was another living room on the right hand side, and I remember she only opened the door so I could look in, but I wasn't allowed to go in there. This is me in big old 20s now, and they were still doing that. It's crazy to me. But yeah, but ever since I've always lived with my mum and dad, when I was growing up, we didn't have that. You could go and sit in that's what the living room was for. You could go and sit in the living room and all of this. So I always thought it was strange when you went to other people's houses and they kept a living room.
Well, Ray said her best room was for people we didn't know, and her dad's family. Ray also said, my first property was a studio flat. I had to keep it tidy, and I could not shut the door. Well, do you know what, Ray? That is so true. So when I've rented for 13 years, right, before we bought this place as well. So I rented for many, many years. And during that time, then I would say that there was about 2, maybe 3 properties. No, more than that, actually, 3 or 4 properties I lived in, where the room was so small, I had to absolutely, oh God, it was just horrible. I had to, because I've got a lot of stuff. Now, I should have probably got rid of the stuff, but I didn't. I kept it. But I had everything piled in a certain way, and it had to be in a certain way. And I had everything just so. It was a nightmare if I wanted to get something out. Oh God, it's there. So much so that I would just think, oh, I can't be bothered, I'll leave it. But my room, there's one room I was in, was so small. I had a weights bench because I used to like to do weights. And to get from one end to the other, I had to move the weights bench around, go around it to one end of the other, I say end of the room, just to get to something at the other end of the room. Come back, move the weights bench again. If I wanted to open the door, I had to move the weights bench, move the weights, and then open the door. I had to do something to get around the house. It was so annoying. Well, get around the house, I've got to get around the room. But it was a very small room, and everything was just so. I had it packed just right, so I could just about navigate the room without needing to. But the one thing was my weights bench. I had to keep moving that if I wanted to get somewhere. So I do get what you mean. If you have a small room, you have to be meticulously tidy and have it just so, because once it gets out, that's it. Forget it. You won't be able to open anything. Get across the floor, anything like that.
I think as well, because when we moved from the old house, there was furniture wise, I think there was only 2 things I brought, which was the sofas and my grand's table. Everything else we bought new. So the beds, the cupboards downstairs, everything we bought from new. But I remember you brought something from where you lived before. It was some like chest of drawers or something. And he wanted to bring that. I was like, what? No, we're gonna leave that here. We're going to get all new things. This is me. I was thinking, we're getting the house again. We're gonna get. So the only things that we bought, the only things that I bought with us was the sofas and I bought this TV. So the sofa's this TV and my grand's table. That's the only furniture we bought. Everything else was new.
I've got to say, the first time I actually ever bought furniture was in my late 30s, because I'd rented for so many years that I always rented accommodation where the furniture came with the property. So I never ever bought furniture, because you always walked into furnished flats. So if I ever bought furniture, I thought, oh God, I'm going to need space for this. So I literally just went from place to place to place to place to place. Like I said, I did nick some chest of drawers from one place I was in, actually. I say nick, the landlord wasn't bothered anyway. He just said, well, when you leave, you can take what you want. So, okay, I'm taking this.
And that's what you wanted to bring. I was like, bring
well, it was only a small little job, but it was really handy, because at the time I had a massive TV, big thick thing. So it fitted on that so nicely. That's why I kept it. But yeah, I was going to say, so anybody has rented, I know I can tell you multiple stories about renting, but I do get it. When you've got a small space, you really do need to utilize it.
Yeah, I think what. So when we moved into the house, there was a couple of mistakes that I made, really, because there wasn't many places that you could go at the time, because they closed down places like MFI and all that, so there wasn't places that you could go and sort of like see cupboards. And I saw a set of sort of like almost like Juliet type cupboards and all of that, but I didn't look at them, and we ordered them, and when they arrived and Mark put them together, the thing where you hang the pole where you would hang your clothes was so thick you could hardly put hangers. The cupboards are massive, but there's no space in them. So we've got all these lovely looking drawers and all these lovely looking wardrobes. We can't fit hardly anything. So, and we've got a lot of clothes. So that's one of the mistakes, I feel.
Yeah, because when we moved in, we desperately needed furniture, so we just did a massive order on Amazon, and it all came. But of course, it is better if anybody is buying furniture for the first time. We would definitely recommend you go to a showroom and check it out.
Yeah.
Because we didn't. We just took a risk, and it looked nice on the photograph. But yeah, the pole where you hang stuff is so thick it won't, which is odd because that's where you hang it. You have to buy specialist hangers for them, ones that are really big hooks. Otherwise, regular coat hangers just won't hang on this thing.
And plus, it's big, but it's not big inside.
No, it's really bulky, but the walls are really thick.
Yeah,
so you can't really house that much, and it's all grand at the top with this ornate thing. It was quite, they were relatively good value because it was on sale when we bought it.
Yeah.
But again, it was more ornate. Ray said landlords have more rights with renting a furnished property. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. I know, ironically, because I always found this weird, but it's more expensive to rent an unfurnished property than a furnished property. And I never worked out why that was. But it's much cheaper to rent a furnished property. But I didn't realise they have more rights. Is there a reason behind that, Ray, that they have more rights? I would imagine they have rights, obviously, because of the furnishing, so you have to look after the furnishings.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't imagine you'd have more rights in terms of renting per se.
I had a flat and I rented that. I rented the flat out, but I had like it was furniture that I had used myself, but it was basic stuff, like they had like sort of like nice little cupboards in Argos that I bought. And they were put together, and then I ordered my bed and had a microwave, washing machine and all that. But and then when I moved out, because the washing machine wasn't great, but I knew how to use it. But then when I decided to rent it out, I had to get a new washing machine for it because I couldn't expect prospective tenants to use the washing machine the way that I was using it. Really, it wasn't a very good washing machine. But I had already bought it and used it, and I just thought, oh, it's just the hassle to. But you had to manually press the button to take it on to the next function.
Well, do you know what? I've noticed that as well, because from my experience of renting as well, not all, but I've had some good landlords, but I've had some absolutely terrible landlords. And I've always found that when you're a tenant, you have so few rights. But even if something goes wrong, there's absolutely no pressure on the landlord to fix it. Who's going to do anything about it? Even if I've been in cases where the landlord is in the wrong. So I'll give you an example. I rented one place and it came furnished with a washing machine, and of course we had the contract with it in the washing machine.
Right.
And the washing machine broke down, and they refused to replace it. Oh no, wow. I haven't got the money. I've got to replace it. But I phoned up various shelter, and they said, and various other places, and they said to me, yeah, they should replace it, but there's not much you can do. You'd have to take it to court. And do you really want to take it to court?
Over a washing machine.
And I just thought to myself, so that's it then. There's no governing body. There's nowhere that looks after these things. So really, the power is all with the landlord, I find.
Yeah, see, I was a good landlady. So I did, I did what I was supposed to do as a landlady. But because people are paying money, so it makes sense. So like I put a new washing machine because, like I said, when I rented it, the stuff that I was using I felt were good enough for tenants anyway. The only thing that I needed to put in the property, I knew that I couldn't expect someone to manually go and press a button to take it onto the next function. That's ridiculous. But it was all right. If I was using it, that's fine. But everything in the property I had used, so I knew it was all right for a tenant to come and use. So, the cupboards were fine, the drawers were fine, and all of that sort of stuff. And luckily, there was a lot of storage in that flat. We've got a house, and when I went to my mum's, I was like, oh yeah, she's got this cupboard as a storage. She's got the understairs as a storage. Then she's got a cupboard upstairs that's got storage. And then but this house doesn't have any storage, just got the under the stairs and the bedroom. And
just
so
like at Ray Ray's comment. Go.
so it's easy. So for things that she wants to pack neatly away, like so in one cupboard, so she's got the bathroom, and directly next to it, years and years and years ago, they put a secondary toilet in. It was terrible, that toilet, because it was so small, but you could use it if you were desperate, if somebody was in the bathroom. Anyway, my mum eventually got rid of that toilet because they had put it in themselves, and then they thought, you know what, I'm going to get rid of this toilet. So that was brilliant. And now she's put the dryer in that cupboard. And then she's got shelves, and it's a really good place because because her bathroom's downstairs as well. It makes it easier if you keep some clothes downstairs, your towels, your bathroom towel, and all that. So your foot towels and things like that. So when I was there, I needed to wash the floor towel, so the foot towel and the mat that she's put down. So I went to go and put it in the washing machine, and I was like, "Mums, where'd you keep your other one?" "Oh, you're not going to find it, blah, blah, blah." So I thought, oh, God. So she didn't explain to me where it was, but I went straight to that cupboard because I thought, if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be in this cupboard. She has packed this cupboard full. There's 2 ironing boards in, but it's a small ironing board, and then there's a big ironing board. And then she's got one of those ones, where the iron, but it's like what dry cleaners use. So you hang your clothes up, and then you do it with the steam.
Oh, it's a steam thing, right? Okay.
Yeah. So you do it with the steam. So she's got that in there. Then she's got all the towels. She's got her clothes and all of this. And I was like, I don't know how this woman has packed everything in this cupboard. So it turns out it was down the side, but underneath, sort of, you wouldn't have been able to see it because the ironing board was in the way. And then I managed to pull out the mat, but then I couldn't get the ironing board in properly because obviously she's arranged it in such a way. And I just thought, so I just tried to push it in as best I could, so that I could close the door if I needed to. But obviously you have to have the door open if you're going to use the dryer. But close the door, and then I put the foot towel down, dried the other one, folded it, and then put it away in the cupboard. But I didn't bother putting it down where she had it. I thought I'll let her sort that out. So I just put it on the top, and I thought when she comes, she can just put it underneath. But yeah, it's just funny how I felt like I was constantly tidying up, constantly mopping down this, but I knew, and I still knew it wasn't to my mum's standards.
Yeah.
Even though I was wiping things down, putting things in the washing machine, getting Dettol wipes and wiping things down and all that, I still knew. And when my mum came home this morning, she got the Hoover out, automatic. So I knew in places clearly what I hadn't done. She's got the Hoover out, cleaning, and then she was done. And then so I knew it wasn't to her standard. I knew.
Ray said, I'm working at the moment with a tosser of a landlord. He wants the family out and has been to court, and now he doesn't want to pay. Oh, I'm probably best if I don't say what I think about landlords, but they're not my favourites.
No, you haven't had a good time with landlords.
Beings on the planet. Not all, to be fair. There's 1 or 2 that I really got on with personally as well. And I've got to say, they are really liked, but other ones as well. What irritates me about landlords, and some landlords in particular, is their absolute nonchalance, as if to say, how dare you expect me to do something with my own property while you're paying me money? I've lost track of the number of landlords I've had in the past whose expectation is I just hand them money and they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
It's very much like, no, you just give me money, I'm not going to do anything.
Crazy.
One landlord in particular made it very clear they didn't even want me in the house. They just thought, oh, you just give me money, can't you go out? No, I'm paying you. It was very much like that. So yeah, they're not my favourite people on the planet, I've got to say. Don't get me wrong, I know there's two sides to every story, and I know some landlords obviously experience it must be difficult if you're a good landlord, and I know there are bad tenants. I've shared with many people, and I've lived some real weird homes, and some people that have been really bad to the properties and to the landlords, like not pay, ruin the place. But I've got to say, oh, here you go. Ray said it's always best to use an agent like me.
Yeah, it is. It is. I had 3 tenants, and all 3 tenants were relatively okay. My last tenants, they were really good. They were really lovely people. And then I had 2 tenants prior to that, and they were okay. I had 1 tenant, young girl, um, very nice. But with me, I never raised. So every year, normally you raise the rent, but I never raised the rent. The rent for me always stayed the same. So I never.
Yeah, so just to clarify, when I say not my favorite people, obviously the ones that are bad, obviously.
Yeah.
So not all, but yeah, for the ones that were bad, they can make people's lives misery. But
Yeah.
I've got to say, I was blessed with a number of good landlords who were I got on with, and you know, it makes such a world of difference when you get on with a landlord and do it that way. But yeah, Ray, I always forget you're an estate agent. And doing that way. So Ray, just for anybody that is watching and thinking about renting, do you have a top tip? Is there anything you would recommend to look out for? Ray said the family, I'm in the middle of eviction with 3 small children. Her husband lost his job during COVID and they owe a lot of money now. Oh, that's
a tricky situation, because obviously the landlord, whoever the landlord is, needs to, for whatever reason, rent to make money, or rent to pay mortgage or whatever. And then at the same time, the family have lost their job. What can they do?
No, this is it. And it is a difficult one as well. Like I said, I know they did put a stop in on evictions during the pandemic, but that was soon lifted. So just any sort of top tips, Ray, could you recommend for someone who is looking potentially to rent? What type of property would you say is a red flag? Is there anything that you've noticed in your years of experience to avoid? Always look at Ray. Oh, that's quick. Ray said, always look at the property more than twice at different times, especially when it's dark. That's brilliant tip. Do you know what? Every time I've gone to rent, I've only ever looked at it once. Funny enough, when we bought this place, we only looked at it once.
We did, yeah.
We only looked at it once. So actual fact, and we did say after we bid, we should have come back here.
Yeah, because we differed in the properties that we liked.
Yeah.
Because there was one down the road, and I really liked that one. That one, they had done it really nice, and they had cleverly dealt with the space, because we've got 2 bedrooms that's roughly the same size, and then another bedroom that's slightly smaller. Granted, it's not as small as when we lived at my mum's house. My brother's room was like a box room. It's very small. But the room here, which is of the equivalent size, is bigger. So we were lucky in that sense. But at the other house, they had a lovely corner, but they put a lot of love in that property. And then when we came here, this property had been rented out, so there wasn't as much love in the property. There's never as much love in a property if you don't live in it. If you live in it, I think you tend to put a lot of love in it.
Well, it wasn't so much that as well. I think when we came to look at the property, it was actually in good nick. We looked around; it was clean. It was nice.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was okay. Funny that when we bought it, so there was a gap of about, what would you say, 9 months between us viewing it and moving in.
Maybe I think we viewed it in the summertime, and then
we moved in January. Yeah, so about 6 to 9 months, say. But when we moved in, the property was totally different. And what I mean by that was that, I mean, the carpet was all a mess. There was stains all over it. The paint was chipped up and down the banisters. I thought, what the hell has happened to this place in 9 months? This was never this bad a situation when we moved in. And I think that was it. I think the person we bought from, again, guessing, had rented it out.
Yeah, it was definitely rented out. But I think, to me, those are cosmetic things. So those are normal. People are getting furniture up and down the stairs. They're going to bum it, and you're not going to have the same carpet. Me personally, I know some people would. I would not use the same carpet that somebody else has used. I would recarpet it. So the fact that it was patchy here, there, and everywhere is of no consequence to me, because it's not something that I'm going to use. But what was interesting to me was that there was stuff left in the loft, which shouldn't be. They should have cleared that out. Stuff left in the garden, which they should have cleared out and shouldn't have. They took a tank, electric tank.
Well,
or
we
whatever
don't
it
know
was.
if it was them or if it was gone before.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it was gone.
Somebody took
Somebody
it.
had taken it. It was gone. Basically, it should have been there, but it wasn't there. So those were the things. But again, they were all pretty much cosmetic. So nothing of. But there was no love that had been put into this house. There might have been at one point when the original owner lived in it. Then, because you could see in the garden, there was so much love in the garden. That what the previous owner had done, how they'd taken care of it. There was a big pond with big fish in there and all of that. So you could tell that a lot of love went into the garden and into the conservatory. So clearly that's the person who loved nature. They were very much green fingered and all of that type of stuff. So a lot of love of it. Mark and I, unfortunately, are not green fingered at all in any slightest of the sense.
Well, I do a bit, to be fair to me.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we're not garden. We're not.
No.
Yeah, you only just started when we moved here to
be
cut
to be
and
fair,
things,
I don't have any time and you don't like it.
Yeah, and I'm not a garden. Where I lived before, I remember, because my mum likes to try to get involved in the garden, but because we're not garden people, because in Mauritius, you don't have gardens. There's there's no land to have a garden, really. Normally, you're building a house, so there's no there's. I don't think I've been to a relative's house that has a garden yet.
So Ray, just to clarify, she said the reason why, going back to the property, you should look at a property at different times is because an area can come to life at night.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, actually, because again, we looked at it in the evening, this property, and it was quite quiet then. But I would never have thought to look at it during the day and then look at it during the evening.
Yeah.
That I know what you're saying. That can happen. Many years ago, I rented a place in Tottenham, and when I looked at it, it was during the day, and it was so quiet. It was so quiet. But in the evening, woo 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 woo, it was just sirens and noise and kids playing and people arguing, and so you did this. And this is many years ago, but it did make me think, oh wow, it's totally different in the evening than it is during the day.
Yeah.
Also, Ray said my house was a mess when I first looked at it, but the price was right and I had the money to do what I wanted. Well, that's fine if you can get it a good deal, because they do say that actually the cost to do up a property isn't the same proportionally as to buy it. So if you can get it cheaply, you can always just do renovations.
We went to look at some properties that were like they wanted like top dollar for stuff that was that the sort of properties that they were showing us, right? And because obviously Mark had been saving. I already had a property which I was in the process of selling, so we were in quite good standing to buy a new house. And the types of properties that they were showing us for the amount of money we were going to spend were,
let's say, just for arguments, it isn't, but let's say the going rate was 300,000 for a 3-bedroom property. Let's say at the time we were looking. What we would go to one house where obviously a lot of work had been done to it. It was nice and it was 300,000. You think this is okay. Then the estate agent would show you to another property. Now, clearly what had happened was that somebody's parents had passed away and the family had inherited the property and they wanted to sell it. But you walk in there and it was like you've gone in through a time warp back to the 1950s. No central heating. All the decor was like old wallpaper from the 1950s. The parents had clearly not decorated it for decades. And they wanted 300,000. You said, well, why on earth am I going to pay that when I could get a really pre-furnished one? This place, I'm going to have to put central heating in, double glazing in. I'm going to have to redecorate every single room from scratch.
It had been empty for I don't know how long. It smelt.
Yeah.
There was one where it was so overgrown and there was a dead fox in the garden.
Oh yeah, that was right.
there was another one. There was another one that we went to see that people had lived in, but they didn't take. The garden was so overgrown. It had been like nobody had lived there. The house was okay, but I remember my mum saying to the lady, because it was a house that wasn't too far from here, and she said, "Oh, do you ever go out in the garden?" She goes, "Oh no, there might be a tiger out there," because of, you know, that like the book where the tiger comes through the grass. But it was so overgrown. The grass was so tall. You would need what you call it, shears, to cut the grass before you could actually mow the grass. It was so tall. And then there were other houses, like Mark had said, where the relatives had died. But there was one that we went to see, there was a dead fox in the garden. Clearly the parents had passed away a long time ago, and the house just smelt of damp. Nobody had lived in it. Like Mark said, no central heating, no double glazing. The children that were selling it lived by the seaside somewhere, so they hadn't even come to the house to do whatever that they needed to do. And yeah, so but the properties that they were showing us, I was just like, really? And I remember we went to see one property, and I can't remember, and my brother came with us, and it was a young estate agent, sort of like one of these ones, you know, they think they are traders on the stock exchange or whatever. And he's come in his suit and he's well dressed and everything else. And it was again not too far from here. And I walked in with my brother. My brother was like, "What?" He was just so shocked at the caliber of property for that money. Like Mark said, say 300,000 that they were showing us. And we walked out, and I was just like, "No, this ain't for me." And my brother said, he goes, "I wouldn't even dare to. The offer that I would make for this property would be insulting." And then the man was going, "Well, what?" I think they were clearly desperate to sell that property.
I mean, there is that sense of realism there. I think you've got to, if you're, like I said, I've just quoted a figure. It's not the right one, but if the going rate is 300,000 and your property is at that state, you can't expect to sell it on that. It's just no way. But Ray said my garden had fallen down trees. I couldn't even see how big it was. Oh my word!
God!
Wow! You need a
Wow!
chainsaw and cut them all up.
You can get, but again, you can hire people that can come and do that sort of thing. But I knew full well I didn't want to buy a house, so I had to do work to. I don't mind the cosmetic work, like, you know, new carpets, painting, things like that. Cosmetic is fine, but I didn't want anything that I was going to have to rip out a kitchen, I had to rip out a bathroom, I have to do this and do that and all of that sort of thing. So I knew from the get-go I didn't want a property that needed work. I just wanted a property where it was just cosmetic, painting, carpeting, and all that. And then sooner or later, I knew that I would want to get a new bathroom and a new kitchen.
Ray said the most I've ever sold a property for is 600,000. Now, to be fair,
where you live as well, that's.
Oh my God! In Kidderminster for 9 bedrooms. Do you know what, Ray? 600,000 in London. Now, I know London's a big place. Depending where you're going, it's probably bog standard. You wouldn't get much for 600,000 here. You might
you might get 4 bedrooms.
Yeah,
you might get 4 bedrooms.
Not 9, but central London, you wouldn't get a flat for that. If you went on the property site and looked at London prices, you would balk at it. You would think, oh my God. I even know, because I've read reports where footballers from northern clubs, so there was one player that came from Middlesbrough to play for Tottenham, and he said he was absolutely gobsmacked at the prices of properties in London.
600,000, I don't think you could even get five bedrooms. And the 4th bedroom, when you look at 600,000 and you look at the 4th bedroom, it's normally a loft conversion. So they've normally So at one point when we were looking to buy houses, they weren't allowed to call the loft conversion a bedroom.
Right.
So they weren't allowed to count it. So it would be classed as a 3-bedroom property. But obviously there'd be 4 bedrooms in there, but they weren't allowed to class loft conversions as a bedroom. So all of the houses that you would go to look at, some of them would be. There was a pretty little house that we went to see, which was really nice. But the garden was, after we'd seen this garden, and the estate agents were messing us about. And so I just thought, you know what, forget this. I'm not even, the estate agents we dealt with was the most rubbish. I'd never dealt with it. There was one estate agent that I used to sell my property. They were super good. I bought my property with them. I sold my property with them. I was selling another property with them. They were really, really good. But the estate agents that was marketing this property, oh, they were
We
terrible.
won't say the name,
They were
but yeah,
terrible.
well, we were good. So I may have asked you this question before, Ray, and anybody else actually who are dealing with property. But has anybody ever? What's the weirdest scenario you've ever had in terms of showing around a property? I may have asked you this before, but have you ever had a scenario where you've gone in to show a property or view a property and there's been something weird? I think I may have told you this story as well, but one guy I work with, his wife does surveying, and he said to me as well, he said his wife went to survey and measure up, so she had to measure up the windows. Anyway, she sort of leaned on this, but the windows wouldn't by this bed, and so she leaned on the bed. She thought, "This is a bit lumpy," because the woman's the wife of this in this house let her in and said, "Yeah, if you want to measure, start upstairs in the bedroom." So she's leaning on the bed and lumpy, and she said next thing she saw was the wife's husband turn the covers like this and went, oh, and just went back like that. The wife didn't say that he was asleep in the bed, so she's leaning on this kid trying to measure these windows.
That puts me on. We went to visit a property again, closer to near where my brother lives. I'm pointing that direction because that's the direction. And we went into this property, and I kid you not, I don't know how many people were living in this property. And the estate agent was showing us round, and we were in rooms and people were asleep in the rooms. There was mess everywhere. There was things on the floor.
So it was a 3-bedroom house, but I think basically what there were way more than that. And also as well, we noticed that there were mattresses sort of shoved in corners. So clearly people pulled these mattresses out and then hung them on the floor. There must have been, I don't know how many. If someone said there were double figures sleeping there, it wouldn't surprise me. Wow, Riri said my house is valued at 150,000.
Wow.
A 3-bedroom semi-detached. Times that by 4, and you probably get by 3, and you would probably get the value here.
Yeah.
It's really makes a huge difference actually.
Yeah, here. It's from London. Yeah, here is so expensive. And
yeah.
I mean, and it's only gone up. I thought that it would go down a little bit because of the pandemic. I'm assuming we're going to go through some type of recession at some point.
Most likely.
Because there's not enough jobs out there. So I'm assuming we're going to go into some type of recession at some point. And property prices have not gone down. They haven't gone down.
Well, here anyway. I don't know about the rest of the country.
Possibly, yeah. But I think London sort of dictates what happens to the rest of the country, really.
I'm on tenterhooks here. I bet Ray's got some really funny stories about that. I'm really looking forward to seeing that, because that story I told with the survey thing made me laugh. I thought that was so funny. But it is interesting. Have you ever been shown to a house and there's been a naked person there, or just something weird happening?
Can you imagine?
Or you've opened a door and you found something you shouldn't have done? That would intrigue me as well. I've never really done things like home visits, so I can't in any job. So I can't think of anything that I would have done that I could have spotted. But
there was one house that we went to visit again. It's a little bit further from here than what we would have liked, and we went to visit it, and I've got no problem with ex-council properties because the rooms are huge. In council properties, the rooms are huge. The measurements are correct and all of this. And so we went to visit an ex-council property. And they wanted, as if you were buying a private, a non-council property, right? They wanted the same price. And we went there, and it was kind of, because not all properties are on an estate, but this was on sort of like an estate. The front of it sort of backed onto an estate. And the road was a bit weird. And so cars would go in. There was almost like a roundabout that you would have to go around to come back out. Now, I was there and there were kids playing in the middle of the road on their tricycles and these. We went to have a look at the property. Now the property looked very much uh like a masonette. So basically my friend, when I used to live in Battersea, his house was a masonette and it was very, very similar. So there was a little landing and there was no soundproof and all of this. And I just thought, well, this ain't worth no, do you know what I mean? And this is me now getting got, do you know what I mean? So the estate agent rang me and I said, well, I don't think, I said, oh, it's an okay property, it's all right. I said, but it's nowhere worth. And he's going, what? He got really offended. What? For a 3-bedroom property and all of this? There are 3-bedroom properties and then there are 3-bedroom properties. You cannot say to me, oh, yeah, this 3-bedroom property is worth the same as and it wasn't even detached. It was mid-terrace. It was a masonette. So there was sort of house on either side and it was on an estate. Now you can't tell me that it's the same worth as another property on a residential street that's semi-detached with a large massive garden. This one had a tiny garden and you want to price it at almost the same price. There's about £20,000 different. No, please you're not talking to a fool. And so yeah, so it was very, but he got really offended. I said, but I don't think it's worth. Now by this point I have been property hunting from my early 20s right up till now. So I've seen a fair few properties and I've seen properties that I've considered that were in my price range, properties that were not in my price range, properties that you can talk down, and all of that type of stuff. So I had a bit of experience looking at properties. Granted, not experience as in buying and selling and whatever, but I'd been to see a fair few. And the way he spoke to me, he just put the phone down on me.
Doesn't spray. Oh, Benny Chevron, hello. So
Hey.
bonjour, Mark and Kelly Tricks and Tips. Comment ça va?
Oui, ça va bien, merci.
How are you?
Et vous?
How are things going? You okay?
Tu es bien?
How are things? And how was your trip to Canada? Because I know you've just come back from Canada. Did you like it? Ben, if that's you, apologies, I haven't responded to your text yet. But I will do. But how was your trip? Did you enjoy Canada? Now, you've been to Canada. You love Canada.
I was chatting to Siobhan about it a little bit. And I said, I went to visit. The only place I went to in Canada was Toronto. I do have an uncle in Montreal, my dad's brother. But I have to say, but I didn't get a chance to visit him at the time. But my favorite place is Toronto. It's one of the best. That one and Barcelona, and there's another city I can't remember, but I'll have to.
Wow! So Ben and Siobhan said, "May we?" It was lovely, thanks. Now, would you agree with Kelly's synopsis that Montreal was the best city there?
Not Montreal. They went to Montreal. I went to Toronto. I think they went
Toronto.
to
Sorry, Toronto was the best city that you visited.
No, I think they liked Montreal.
You prefer Montreal to well, let them just answer. You preferred Montreal, or did you prefer Toronto? What was your favourite part of the trip? I've never been to Canada. I would love to go.
It's a better version of New York, I feel.
Really?
Because the atmosphere is nice. I feel like in New York, it's full of angry New Yorkers.
Right.
I feel that they're angry in the wintertime and they're angry in the summer, even angrier in the summertime.
Oh, so they were different, but their favourite was Quebec.
Yeah, Quebec.
What was it? Because I know that's French speaking. What was it about Quebec that you liked the most? And can you speak English in Quebec? Because I have
French. Yeah,
it is French speaking, but I have heard rumours that they're so passionate about the French that they refuse to speaking it. Is that true? Or is that somebody just made that up? I'm just out of interest.
I think that's where Celine Dion is from, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
From Quebec.
She speaks fluent French.
No, she does speak on it.
But I just out of interest, if that's the case. The actor that played Henry V, sorry, and also that played in June, the Canadian actor, he speaks fluent French.
I don't know which one that is.
You do.
Oh, Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, that's
right. Yeah. He does speak fluent French. Oh, is that where he's from?
Yeah, Quebec.
Oh.
Well, he's Canada. I think he's Quebec. I might be wrong, but he is definitely from Canada.
Oh, yeah, Timothée Chalamet. Yeah, I saw him in an interview speaking fluent French. My French is basic, and it's only when I spend a long time there, then my French comes back. But when you don't practice it, because my family, the majority of my family speak French, fluent French.
Mm.
And I can speak enough French to get by in France. but only if I continue to speak it, then my French becomes a lot better. But if I don't speak it for ages, it drops to very low. Comment ça va? Blah blah blah, and yeah, and de toi. Um, and I always like when I hear the British. Oh yeah, it's Catra. No, it's not Catra. It's Cat. Just to say.
Oh, so Ben said very pretty, lovely architecture, friendly people. Now they were not like the French. They all spoke English and happy to switch between the two. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting because I mean, like I said, when I've gone to Paris, I mean, like, you wouldn't expect obviously everyone to speak English, but when my French has been poor, I always say
they haven't got any time for it.
No, not at all. Because
No,
I'll attempt it, but somebody told me, look, if you attempt French, they'll try and help you out. That was not my experience. So I was attempting French. I was asking for somewhere. I was je cherche wherever it was, and I was going like this.
I wanted to say my school French bibliothèque.
Yeah, where it was je cherche, where the room, and I said, parlez-vous anglais? No. And it's not even attempt slightly. So he was giving me directions in French, but really complex, and I figured I don't understand it. And I thought I'm not going to pick this up.
I think it's changing as the generations get on. So it is slightly changing, but you still have that old generational, that sort of. I don't know how to say things without sounding slightly derogatory, so that's what I'm searching for.
So Ben's searching for words. You guys have been to Canada pub in London. Try the poutine. So funny enough, we were going to go to Canada House. It's called the Maple Leaf.
Yeah.
Nahar said hello. I watched Volume 2 today, and I didn't like it. What was Volume 2?
I didn't see it on Netflix yet. Stranger Things.
Oh, Nahar, how are you? Sorry. Why didn't you like it? Don't reveal too much.
Yeah.
Nahar.
Well, don't read it out and then just think
No.
I had a look to see if Volume 2 was on there today, but I didn't see it. Unless it came on later, but Volume 2 is not on there yet.
We have tried, sorry, going back to your point, we have tried poutine. So if you check out our Rochester video, we managed to go to a restaurant there, a burger place, and they had poutine on the menu. So we did try it, and it was very, very good.
Yeah, but I think it wasn't you couldn't eat it as poutine because it was made with a meat.
No, the gravy that comes on it is meat.
Yeah,
but yeah, I could have just the cheese.
The curds.
The curds and the chips is amazing. Oh, so Nahar said no spoilers, but Volume 2 has been there since 9 in the morning, and that's when I started watching it. Oh, it has been today.
Okay, I'm just having a look now.
How are your exams going, by the way, Nahar? Are they going okay? Are you getting through them all right? Or have you finished them all? Because I know you've got your you would have finished them all, wouldn't you? Because we're June, end of June, beginning of July. I'm assuming you've finished them all.
I'm just having a look. This is trailers collection. Oh.
We'll have to get back onto Stranger Things. Yeah, Ben, it was really good, I've got to say. So the poutine I really enjoyed. My exams are done, but I've got a speaking exam in English. How do you think you've done? I think you've done well.
They used to call it the oral exam, but I suppose they don't call it oral exam anymore.
Oh, Nahar said we're supposed to talk about our favourite heroes.
Oh.
Is that what you want to talk about? Okay, who is your favourite hero? Who is your favourite hero? Is it superhero? Is it from a different thing? I haven't done it yet. It's on Monday. Oh, okay.
Oh, episodes and info. That's what I'm trying to look for.
That's what she's trying to look for.
It just says download. It doesn't say anything about.
There we are.
Yes, 4. But we've watched all of the 4. There's not. Oh right, okay. There's two more episodes.
All right, so we watch that. Thank you, Nahar. We shall try that. So for those of you that haven't watched Stranger Things, our recommendation is do watch Stranger Things. It's a brilliant. Funny enough, so Kelly and I started watching season 1 again just to get back into it. The kids look so much younger now when you actually watch it. I don't want to spoil. Yeah, please don't, Nahar, because we haven't seen that yet. But thank you for letting us know that was on, because we do want to watch it.
I'm going to watch it later, in fact.
And I do. And Nahar, Oh, Sahinas. Hello, Mark and Kelly. Good evening. Lots of love, Sahinas from India. Kelly, you look great.
Thank you.
How are you, Sahinas? Lovely to see you. Mark, Kelly, Mark and Jelly, or she put Mark and Kelly, I think she means. Who are your favourite characters? So before I answer that, Nahar, this is one for you because you're young. Now, when you will not have known Kate Bush's song "Running Up That Hill" when it first came out because you wouldn't have been born. But do you like it? That's the one that Max listens to. I won't ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but she listens to that. Do you like that song? Oh, I love her song. You do?
My favourite character is, what's the guy with the curly hair and the no teeth?
Oh, that's
Dustin. I love Dustin. I think his acting, he is a brilliant little actor.
Hi, Dusty Bun.
Yeah, hi, Dustin. They're all great actors, and they do remind. I know where the Duffer Brothers were going with it because they were thinking of the Goonies, and they do sort of represent sort of the Goonies type era because they're going on adventures and stuff.
Turn around to tell you what you see. Zena says, I am fine, Mark. Hope you're well, both well tomorrow. Going to Dubai.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. So excited. Maybe my next video will shoot from Dubai.
Yes.
I was going to ask you, Sahina, are you going to do any cooking videos in Dubai?
Or even do the sights and sounds of Dubai, like film around Dubai. I think people would really like that, actually.
And I'm going to keep watching because I'm still waiting for our Ras Malai. No pressure, but I'm still looking out for my Ras Malai. No, I said also Nightmare on Elm Street. What was Nightmare on Elm Street? Have you watched that recently?
I suppose no. It's got an air. She's saying it's got an air.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's a bit like that.
Yeah, it does have an air of Nightmare on Elm Street about it. But yeah, it's different things, and you know, I like it because there's recognizable elements in it, and I'll say to Mark, "Oh, look at that! Oh, look at this! Oh, look at that!" And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, oh my god!" But yeah,
I was going to say, Naha, have you watched Nightmare on Elm Street? It looks scary. It is scary. I think for the time you might find it a bit dated now though because it was shot in the 80s. Sahina says yes. Where I stay in Dubai, I will shoot a cooking video. Ras Malai when I get back, I will do it here in India. I will look forward to that. Well, I look forward to your things anyway, but we will look forward. So anybody who is interested to watch, do watch Sahinaz's Dubai video where she'll be doing some more cooking from the channel. I think we have one of those for you.
Yeah,
I can smell them. They're very nice. Our little snacks here. Yeah, no, I can do ask Neha. Right, saying us. So guys, if you cannot hear us, apologies. You said our network is unstable.
Yeah, that's so. Last week when I was shooting the video, I was doing the live. My mum's signal is very weak, so I know that a lot of you couldn't hear me. Then I had to switch to my data to get a better signal. But I would have been interested to see how it was filming from my phone, but it didn't record. So even though I was doing a live from my phone last week on Tuesday, it didn't record, so I couldn't edit it or anything.
Sahina said, Kelly, I saw your last video. It looks really nice.
Oh.
Well, actually about Sahina's, we will hope one day you can come to London because we'd love you to try afternoon tea. I think hopefully you would like it.
I think it's that quintessential British thing that you should do if you're ever in the UK. It's one of those things that, because a lot of people go, oh yeah, tea and sandwiches, but it's not just tea and sandwiches. It's the ambience, it's the elegance. It's I think it's very nice. Me personally.
And I was going to say now, without dropping them all over the floor. I know afternoon tea is not for everybody, but it is a good experience. I would definitely recommend Fortnum & Mason's. It is
pass me those crisps right now.
It is expensive, but for one-off it is worth it.
Yeah.
Yes, I will one day to your place. My wish to meet you with you and Kelly. Well, we'd love to meet you.
That would be so lovely.
We do. We hope one day we can meet up. Now I swear I had a dream about you both once, but it was ages ago. You were both in it. What happened? I hope. I'm a bit scared now because you were thinking about Nightmare on Elm Street, then you talked about us. Which one was Freddie? Like you treading them in the carpet.
I'm not treading it in the carpet.
That's funny. Ashfaq, that is quite funny that you had a dream about both of us. Can you imagine if you did a dream like we were in like a Stranger Things type band?
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's, I love that scene. I won't talk about it because I might spoil it for other
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right, we're off the thing of Stranger Things in case people want to watch it. Mark's already revealed something, so let's not talk
I
about.
revealed a song. It's not really a thing.
Well, that's what Joe did, and when it got to that part, I knew what it was.
Turn around, steady what you see.
Anyway. So yeah, so that's one of our recommendations. Watch that. The other one is
Yeah, that was it.
Cookie Straw, and this as well.
So for those of you not seeing, so this is from Starbucks. It is the
Try
cookie.
these.
So the cookie straw is actually a biscuit straw, and you can. It is literally a straw. So there is a hole in the middle there. There's pure chocolate in there, so you can eat the whole thing. It's all edible, but you can actually suck your drink through there, and it gives it a nice chocolatey flavour because the inside is lined with chocolate. So that is our recommendation for the week: the Starbucks cookie straw. If I can get it to, there we are. There it is. Look, the Starbucks cookie straw, and it's quite big actually.
Yeah, it's quite thick. I was going to say something else now. Something. Oh yes. So while I was at my mum, I baked 2 cakes. I baked a cherry almond cake, and I also baked a pineapple upside down cake. And I baked the pineapple upside down cake, so that when my mum came home, she could have some, because I know it's one of her favourites. So, and I also made a pineapple cream. It was a cream frosting to go with it, so she could blob it on the side of her plate and eat that. So, and I also did some baked potatoes. I brought home some baked potatoes.
So Sahina says, Kelly, I love to watch your videos. Kelly, you can see all my videos. I always watch. I love to watch. What did Sahina said? Watch both game. What do you mean by that, Neha? Watch the game.
So yeah, so I remember because you put something on about dates and flour, and I remember sort of seeing the picture, but I haven't seen the corresponding video, so I will get around to watching that. But it did look quite interesting. I don't really like dates, but I'm interested to see.
I love dates.
But he loves dates. He really loves dates.
That's what. Do you remember, Sahina? Because I was asking you lots of questions about. You made a paste with pistachios, and you boiled them, I think, in milk, and then you ground them to a paste, and then you added that to milk. So that I wanted to find out. I do want to try that. And then you added custard powder to it as well. And then you added the ice to make a really nice, refreshing drink. So that does look good. I would like to replicate that. Now I said, do you guys remember Elisa?
Oh yeah, Alyssa.
Alyssa. Yes, Alyssa. I do. She came on, didn't she, that time?
Yeah, she was chatting with you.
Yesterday, it was exactly 2 years since we met on Roblox. Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Are you still on Roblox? Do you still do your Roblox?
Do you still chat to each other? Oh, that's nice.
Did Chloe ever go on Roblox?
She's on Roblox, but I don't know if they sort of took each other's details. I'm not sure.
Yes, it's really energetic for men and women. Oh, no, you don't play Roblox anymore. So Sahina's, I would like to try that as well, because I know you've got to let it cool, but I love that idea of having the custard and the nuts in there. But because it's a nice fine paste and you add it to the milk, so it's almost like, I'm imagining, because I haven't tried it yet, but it's almost like a nutty custard flavor. But yeah, like a cool custard, but a drinkable custard.
Yeah.
But it does sound really delicious, so I would like to try that. Yeah, you still chat with Alicia.
Oh, that's nice. Alyssa.
I keep on Alicia. Alyssa. I'll get it right one day.
Alyssa.
It's been a long
reminds
day.
me of Alyssa Milano.
Oh, okay.
Because Alyssa Milano was the one who played in Who's the Boss? Tony Danza's daughter in Who's the Boss.
So, Neha, I take it all your hair now is down to
shoulder
length?
Yes. She said it was about as long as mine. So
right, okay.
But so I'm assuming it must be longer now because yours must grow quite fast. Because mine is like down to there, but it just goes
barbershop where it just grows.
Yeah, but my hair is it's shorter at the front and longer at the back because when they cut my hair, they keep it longer at the back, but they graduate the cut. at the front.
Well, this is it. So Kelly's hair is very naturally curly.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I might be wrong, but yours is actually naturally straight.
So yeah, but when you pull it, it's a lot longer than what it is. But I like it slightly shorter. I liked when I got my hair first cut. I think she did a really good job. So I'm going to go back to her again. I've been to her twice now, so I'm going to go to her again to get it cut because I really like the way she does my hair. Simple as that, really.
Yeah. So both of you now got your smart new haircuts.
Well, mine's a bit old now, but I do have another hairdresser. But the hairdresser's quite far. It's not that far, but it's a hassle to get to just to go and cut your hair when really you just want to go down the road. So now I just go down the road. My hairdresser is walkable now. So if I want to just walk there, I can just, it is a little bit far away, but it's still walkable. Whereas the other one, you have to get in the car and drive, and there's nowhere there in the area that you would naturally go to. Like, it's not like in my local town where I'd go and then I can go to the shops afterwards or anything like that. So I just feel like it's a bit out of the way.
Now I said I'm practicing my dance for my uncle's wedding.
Ooh.
What dance are you doing? And did you know I can sing in Hindi?
Well, you can sing a couple of lines.
I can sing an entire song in Hindi. Well, only one song.
Yeah. Which is the song that you sing. Yeah.
But yeah, what dance are you doing? Just out of interest. It's called Ektotin. You won't know it. Okay. But
yeah, which stands to reason that we wouldn't know it.
But you are practicing it. Sahina's probably will.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And how's it going? Are you ready to do that? And is it going to be a group of you dancing for your uncle? Is it just you on your own doing? And do you dance in a group, or do you dance if it's several of you? Do you dance in a group, or will you have like one partner to dance? Nope, I'm not ready at all.
When is the wedding?
Oh, it's just you. Oh, that's brave.
And when's the wedding?
Oh, you haven't even started it. Oh my God, you are brave.
That's what I'm saying. When is it?
Because all the focus is going to be on you. Oh, so he does know what it means. 1, 2, 3. It means. Oh, okay. It means 1, 2, 3. I'm assuming that's like the step. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Like a waltz.
I don't know. I doubt it. Yeah, I know it means 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it's probably just the name of the song. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. I might have to Google that actually and to see how it is. Are you going to be watching a lot of YouTube? Are you going to classes for that? I did a dance, just me, when I was 7 for my other uncle's wedding, all by myself. I was so cute. It was 5 minutes long. Yes, Sahina's. Yeah, that's right.
So when is the wedding? How far away is the wedding? Is the question. So that was So that would have been 7 years ago when you last did one. So yeah.
Mark, you saw my last video. Stop hair fall. I was on the 3rd of September. Oh, you got plenty of time.
You got a while then. Stop hair fall.
No, I didn't see your last video actually. My blimmin' time.
He always forgets to bring his tablet.
No, it's not. It was there. And now it's moved.
Because you took it downstairs.
Yeah, I will be back. I'm going to get it.
He's going, yeah, and it's moved. Yeah, because you moved it. You took it downstairs. So, yeah, because it was on the bed earlier, because I did see it on the bed, because I was working on a couple of things. And then that's why he still thinks it's in the same position. But then I remembered he was using it downstairs. So, but yeah, I think it would be. Are you scared? Is it nerve-wracking that you're going to be doing it on your own? Because I think at 7, it's just easy to just naturally go and dance and do a dance or whatever. So you don't feel as nervous. But I know as you get older, you do start to feel nervous when you're doing things, especially when at that point you're going to be center of attention kind of thing, and it's just you. So are you feeling, or do you think you're going to feel nervous, or do you think you're going to just be okay?
I'm having a look at it now.
Oh, he's got his tablet out. He's going to go and have
I'm not too bad with hair loss. I've still got some look. I'm going to have a little look. Okay, talking.
Well, I don't know, because we were talking about hair loss, and that it just threw me. I go, are we talking about hair loss? So, this weekend, do you know what? We haven't got any plans. And I was thinking about that earlier, and I was thinking, oh, we haven't got any plans. We haven't thought about what we're going to do this weekend. So I'm not sure. I've got, like I said to you guys before, I went to Brighton for the day with my mum and her sister, my aunt. So I'm thinking about, I need to have a look at the footage. Now I've already uploaded the footage onto the laptop, but I think I've got some footage from my phone that I need to also incorporate within the video. So I need to have a look at that. Earlier on, when I was trying to set up the laptop, and I was going to work on the video actually, but the laptop was running so slow that I thought, oh my God, and I'd already turned it off and turned it back on again. And I thought, if I try to go and work on a video, it's going to run super slow, and we're not even going to make the. Oh, now you want to talk?
No, keep going.
So yeah, so I just thought, oh, if I try to work on a video, it might the laptop might act super slow again. So I just left it. But there is some footage that I need to take from my phone when we were in Brighton and actually put it on the laptop so that I can incorporate them together, and then I can start really working on it properly.
Nahar said it's normal for me because I did dance and I'm starting it again in September.
Right.
We did a show all the time in front of big audiences, but then again, I did it as a group.
Right.
No, sorry. So Sahinas, I've just seen your video. So you apply a mask 4 times a week. Does it work? Because you can make a lot of money if this works. I know a lot of men that could really do with this stuff if it works. I did see your video because you did one on weight gaining food. So if you are, if you need to put on weight, you've got some help, but healthily so. So obviously it's nuts. And also as well, I've just seen this one. I haven't watched it yet. But you've got one here, adding dates to milk. What happens when you add dates? So I did ask 2 questions there. Does your hair one work? How long does it take for the hair to grow back? And what happens when you add the dates to the milk? He's barely got, my dad could do with it. He's barely got any hair left and he's not even 40. Oh, your poor dad. Your poor dad.
Is you know what? You're probably bringing him so much trouble. His hair signs fall out.
No. Oh dear. Well, if your dad wants it, Sahinas has got a video here for him to retain his hair. So if you go to Sahinas Loves to Cook, you will see that she's got a hair mask that he can apply to do it. Best be gentle when you ask him though, because he might go, what? Sahinas said, if you try my dates recipe with milk, it's the best for men. Oh really? I will watch that. I will watch it. You put it on a couple of days ago, so I'll have to. I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah, because that's the one you put on the community tab, and I made a comment on it because I said it does look tasty like the dates, but for some reason I thought it was with flour. I don't know why I thought it was dates with flour.
So you've said on your video it boosts your energy. Do you know what? I will try this. One thing, Sahinas, I have, especially because I've been studying and working. The last few months, I've had so little energy. I get so tired during the day, very fatigued. So if this can give energy, I will give it a go. Try that 2 times a week. So dates and milk. I will watch it tonight. I will watch it and give it a go. There's also a jackfruit. So Kelly's best friend loves jackfruit.
She does.
So Sahinas has also got a jackfruit curry recipe.
Oh.
So she might actually like that. You're gonna have to make that.
I think jackfruit is becoming quite popular here because
years
ago jackfruit wasn't that popular here. And then when we went to Mauritius in 2015, and Evelyn grew up in Africa, and she grew up in Uganda. So she used to have a lot of jackfruit and things like that. So when we went to Mauritius, she said to my uncle, "Oh, do you have jackfruit here?" And my mum remembers eating it when she was little. So my uncle went round and he managed to find her jackfruit. And she was like, "Oh my God, jackfruit," because obviously it reminds her of being a child. And she said that, the grass that we have is the same grass that she sort of had over there and all of that. So I feel for her, it was very reminiscent for her growing up. And and obviously my mum grew up there, so it's very for my mum whenever
No,
we go
Heart said
back.
waka waka, this time for Africa. that's
Yeah,
Shakira.
yeah, Shakira. It's one of my favourite songs, actually.
Who recently got divorced.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she was engaged to a footballer, but he was caught having an affair. So Kelly said, so Sahina says, sorry, Kelly, jackfruit curry is like mutton curry, but instead vegetables. Well, funny enough, Sahinas, Kelly and I went to a place called was it Wing Shack?
Oh yeah.
So Wing Shack do chicken wings, but they had a vegan chicken wings, which was jackfruit. So it was jackfruit that's deep fried in the same batter as they do with chicken wings. But I did want to try it. But when we went there, they had none in stock, which is annoying. So next time we go,
like I said, jackfruit's becoming very popular here.
Shakira has the same birthday as Nahar.
Ah.
She should sing you happy birthday. Have I told you guys I'm getting braces soon? No, you didn't.
My nephew's got braces.
I'm very excited for straight teeth.
Yeah, I had braces but I had a gap in my teeth, which my dad always says comes from my granddad, because my granddad had a gap in his teeth. I think my brother's got a gap in his teeth. My nephews have got a gap in their teeth, but my nephews got braces now. I think my younger nephew may get braces as well. But yeah, a gap in the front teeth is quite prominent in my family, but it means good luck apparently.
Nahar said I've got an overjet and an overbite. You probably don't, Nahar, but do you know what? Actual fact, that's one thing I do, because I always said to my mum, I don't want braces at school. I'll get the Mickey tip. But I really wish now I had them done, because I've got some of my teeth that sort of grown overlapping, and I really wish I had braces when I was young.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think because I was a bit worried when I got my braces, because I thought, I knew that other kids were getting taken the Mickey out of at school.
Yeah.
But if you have to have them done, you have to have them done, and you have to deal with the thing. But now I don't think it's as bad as when we were growing up.
And a lot of adults get braces.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I've got to say, I think if I could afford it, I would get it done. Nahar said the dentist told me.
Yeah, when the dentist tells you, then you get it done on the NHS.
Braces are cool in school for me. Well, not cool, but normal.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
A lot of people, yeah.
When I was at school, now this is a long time ago, the braces weren't as good as they are now.
Yeah.
So they were really big, thick ones, and of course it made you look like Jules from.
Well, you had train tracks. They are still train tracks. No. They're still train tracks. But my train tracks.
And actually, I'm glad people have matured. So no one makes fun of each other.
Yeah, no. There was only one time somebody took the Mickey out of me in school, just once, and then nobody ever mentioned my braces.
No, Sahina said, Mark, one of my videos to stop hair falling out is the highest view.
Wow.
Yes, no, I saw that. You've got over 3,000 views. But I've got to say, if you can solve hair, I would say this: if you could solve male hair loss, you would make millions, because people spend an absolute fortune in the West to try and stop hair loss. So if you could do that and this would work, I will have a look at this, because that intrigues me. I might have to start using it just to protect what I've got. I didn't have school today. Oh, okay. Were you off? It's not long actually before your school summer holidays. Actually.
Yeah,
3 more weeks.
Yeah, a couple more weeks.
Is it an inset day? But no, thank you, Sahinas. I will have a look at that, because this does look good, and I will check out. Is it especially for men, the dates and the milk recipe, and is it for giving you more energy? Because I'm up for that. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
No. I can't remember what I was saying there. Yes, Mark. Just try.
Yeah, it's Mark. Just try. Always use that oils and mass. Okay. Mark, you literally got more hair than my dad, and you're older than him. Like your poor dad.
I tell you what, you probably caused a lot of your dad's hair fall out. He's probably thinking, stop it.
No, do you know what? Actually, when I was at school, one of my friends, he was 9 when I was at school. When I got to 19, one of my friends went completely bald, and I felt so sorry for him, because he said, "Oh, it's not fair. I'm 19." All of us had full heads of hair apart from him. Yeah. Who had his bald head. So Sahinas's thing would have done wonders for him back then.
I remember I was at school with a girl. I used to sit with her every day. She was my best friend in school, and she had a streak of grey hair. And we were young. We were Nehar's age. Nehar's age.
No, so my brother actually, he started to get grey hairs at 18. I don't know if he's still on. Sorry, Ben. But yeah, but he hasn't now. But he's well, I said he only had a few. So he said, no, it's both men and women. Just try it once. You will feel. Then tell me. Okay, I will try that. I will look at the recipe here. I'm interested to see if you boil them or not, but I won't ruin it. I will try it and follow the recipe, and I will have a look at the stop wet hair fall. So yeah, I think it means stop hair loss. So yeah, that will be interesting. I shall definitely take a look at that one and check it out. It does sound quite interesting. But now, Sahinaz, if it does work, I was gonna say you will be very, very famous because it will do a lot. But I am interested in it. I know dates do give you energy, but I've never and I do dates and milk, or because they say that something's the land of milk and honey. But Nehar,
because you pronounce it with an R at
sorry,
the end.
Nehar. Sorry, Nehar.
It's Nehar.
Nehar. So I keep doing. I apologize. That's my mistake.
Yeah, Nehar.
Nehar.
But I think
Nehar.
Do you know what? Because look, I think we were having this discussion on Tuesday. It's natural, I think, for people after they say the A to put an R on.
That's an English thing, I'm afraid. Sorry, Nehar.
And I think as well, because we were talking about H, and I said it's not pronounced as H, it's H.
Yeah.
It's not H, it's H. So if you're ever spelling something, don't say H because that's not the correct term. It's H. But that's what we talk about, different things that we'll put at the end of certain words. I don't know why we do it, but yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess.
Mark, say what's that girl's name again? Because I keep getting them wrong. Is it Amelia or Amelia?
Alyssa.
It says Amelia there.
Oh, Mark say Amelia.
Amelia.
Okay.
Amelia. Have I got that right? Have I got that wrong?
Amelia, that's right.
Neha. Sorry, I do apologize.
Neha, right? Neha. I remember because there's a program on and it's got doctors in the program, and I don't think it's called Doctors.
That's true, actually. She said, "How come we don't say Amelia?" That's
Amelia.
true. Do you know? I don't. Do you know why, Neha? I do it because I keep having it in my head. You know when cowboys go yeehaw, I keep saying neehaw like that. So it's Neha. Yeah,
but with Amelia, because of the way of the pronunciation, because it's Leah. So if you say Leah, you don't say even when you say King Lear, you don't pronounce the R.
Leah, yeah.
It's not Leah, it's Leah. So it's that. So, but because of the way of not the conjugation, but the way that the letters fit together, neha, it's not natural to say ha. It's natural to say ha.
No, but also as well, to be fair to Neha, it's my fault because Neha. It's my fault because I've mispronounced it. So I am sorry. I do apologize.
Because what it is, it's an upward inflection. But for some reason, when you say ne and you say ha, you want to say neha to round it off. So you do a downward inflection rather than neha as an upward inflection. So when you say Leah's an upward inflection. It's naturally an upward inflection.
But you have a very beautiful name.
Yes, lovely.
It's a really nice name. I do like your name.
But
when I pronounce it properly.
Yeah. So it's just a case of remembering that it's an upward inflection, but naturally, because it's NE, I suppose I don't know, near.
You say that at school. There's a guy I watch on YouTube, right? And he always pronounces my name wrong. He always does it wrong.
But yeah.
So going back to Sahinaz's thing, yeah, I will have a little try of that dates in milk. It does sound like you don't like dates, but I love dates.
No, dates and prunes and
lovely.
What's the other one? What's the other one with all the pips in? Pomegranates. I like the taste of pomegranates, but I don't like to eat them because I don't like the crunchiness
My
of it.
favourite, is it medjool dates?
Oh, medjool dates,
I
yeah.
love those. They are delicious. I don't like the ones my parents always used to buy at Christmas, the little cheap ones in their cellophane. Oh, they're horrible. They were so dry because they're cheap. They're so dry and bitty. But the medjool ones are delicious. They are so nice.
I remember there was a boy who came from Peru when I was in primary school.
It just sounds like a rhyme.
He came from Peru, and we were bringing things in from we were trying different things. I don't think I brought anything in because there wasn't anything Mauritian that I could really have brought in. But he brought dates in, and I remember trying it and saying I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Give them another go. And Sahina says, Kelly.
No, I have tried them before.
Kelly, you know dates are best for your body. Lots of benefits.
Mm.
They're very high in energy.
I'll try it. I will try it. I will always try something. But yeah, I'm just letting you know I'm not a lover of them, but I would definitely try it. Again, it's the graininess I don't like. It's when things taste very grainy. I don't like it. So things like what's the ones that look like tadpoles?
Oh, tapioca.
Tapioca. Things like I don't like things like tapioca. And what's the one that's like polenta? All that grainy.
Oh, that's lovely. I love. See, we're totally different because I love all that. I like
anything that tastes very grainy or sandy. I'm not a lover of. So things like polenta, things like tapioca, things like dates, and anything that tastes dark, like prunes has got quite a dark taste to it. Sticky toffee pudding because it's got that dark taste to it. I'm not really into it, but I will always try it. I am one for trying things, but yeah.
So Sahina says, if you don't just take one day after dinner, you will get results.
One day after dinner.
I should try that. We have to try that. I do. Okay. I love dates. I've got to say, I really, really do enjoy dates. And I have heard of that as well. Sticky toffee pudding, which is a very famous English dessert, uses dates. So you take dates and you pour boiling water on the dates, and you leave that. Then you mix that in with the cake batter, and that is delicious. You can't taste the dates in it, but it's so nice.
You can taste the dates.
Oh, I love dates. Love dates. Guys, we've been going for 2 hours nearly. So I think we're going to leave it there for today. But thank you so much for everybody joining in. We had a really good chat with you all.
We did.
Thank you so much for also everybody's contributions. Sahinas, we will check out your video. Thank you for those suggestions for the video, especially for the hair loss and also with the energy drink as well. Neha.
Upward inflection.
Neha. Best of luck for your English exam. I hope it goes really, really, really well. I'm sure it will do. And good luck to everybody else out there. I hope you enjoyed it. That's it for Mark and Kelly's trip tips and things for today. But we will be back Tuesday, 6 o'clock, normal time, 6 p.m. Join us, we hope, for our live. Until then, have a fantastic weekend. Look after yourselves. And remember, you are never too old to have fun. So here now, bye-bye. Have a nice time too. We will see you in the next live. Enjoy. Be safe. And we'll see you then.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.